Can I do estate planning by myself? Well, of course you can. We can do anything ourselves, right? If we just put our mind to it. And that's actually a question that we get a lot. Can I do estate planning by myself? And it's usually because people don't want to hire an estate planning attorney like us or in their jurisdiction. And a lot of times the reason is because they see it as a high cost barrier, right? They don't want to spend the money for an estate planning attorney or an estate planning law firm to prepare a proper estate plan for them. And I can completely understand that. There are some estates that are small estates that really don't need to go through the expense of having a revocable living trust and all the accompanying documents that go along with it because they're small estates. I think I've talked about some of these estates before. For somebody who lives in an apartment building, their biggest asset is their bank account. And really the only money in their bank account is the money that comes in from Social Security or from the retirement account on a monthly basis. And once they pay their utilities and all their bills, there is only usually maybe a couple hundred, maybe $1,000 left over on a monthly basis. And besides that, there's just no other assets. There might be a car, there might not be a car, but those are small estates where you probably don't need to. Well, I will tell you, you don't need to. When I see these kind of estates come into our office, I strongly advise them not to spend thousands of dollars to get a revocable living trust type of a package when they really don't need that because their assets are really only whatever is in their bank account on any given day. So in those situations, it just really isn't necessary to get a full-blown revocable living trust package. For the majority of Americans, a revocable living trust is really the correct decision. And can you do it yourself? Sure. We've seen people do it all the time, and a lot of times we end up having to take those estates to probate that should not have gone to probate because they had a revocable living trust. And we've talked about in other videos about funding your trust. There's a lot that goes into funding. As you know, if you come to us or to an estate planning attorney, they will usually always make you put your real property into trust so that at least that's covered. And they will sometimes as well help you with your bank accounts and your other financial accounts so that all of those items are in the name of your trust. Funding is essential. So yes, you can do an estate plan all by yourself if you want to, but you have to be prepared for the consequences. Again, not only during your lifetime and after your lifetime. We have had situations where people have gone online, and I'm not disparaging, there's some really great companies out there who have great products for the correct person, but we've had clients come in who have done an estate plan either completely on their own because they found some forms, because another relative had an estate plan, and so they said, well, I will just copy their forms. Literally, we had somebody come in, and I'm not joking, with a revocable living trust and a pour-over will that they had just taken from somebody else. They had photocopied it, and then they had used whiteout to white out their name and write their name into the document. And the document that they used was created specifically for their friend, and it really had no application in the great scheme of things on their particular estate. And it ended up costing their family thousands of dollars because nothing made sense in that document that they had literally copied and pasted. You really need to be careful when you're doing an estate plan on your own. We've had other situations where people have tried to do a revocable living trust and all of the accompanying documents like the power of attorney, the healthcare power of attorney, advance directive, living will, all of those documents, which usually provide great protection for the person during their lifetime. You've heard me say that before. Unfortunately, this person tried to do it all on their own, and a guardianship issue arose with their spouse. And all of the kids, for whatever reason, didn't agree with what mom wanted to do with dad. Mom tried to rely on all of the documents that she had put together on her own, and they just did not apply to the situation. And that guardianship proceeding between the mom and the 3 children fighting over the father ended up costing thousands and thousands of dollars that was completely unnecessary because the mom and the father tried to do it themselves. So that's a situation where a DIY estate plan really went bad and ended up costing the family thousands of dollars and a lot of hurt feelings because nobody agreed on what the documents said because they were written horribly, and nobody agreed on what should happen to dad. So can you do a DIY estate plan? Yes. If you go back to when I started this video, if you have a really small estate, there are a lot of things that you can do to make sure that your estate passes to whoever you want to. So if all you have is living in an apartment and you're living paycheck to paycheck with your retirement and your Social Security that goes into a bank account, well then probably make that bank account, make sure that there's a POD, a pay on death beneficiary for that bank account, so that when you do pass away, whatever money is left over goes to whoever you want it to, whoever that pay on death beneficiary is. Same thing with your car. If you have a car, then go to your local title company or tag agency in your jurisdiction and ask them what you can do to make sure your car, your automobile passes to whoever you want to. And obviously, if you don't have any real estate, then you don't have to worry about that. But even if you did own a small house, in some jurisdictions, you can do what's called a transfer on death deed. It's an interesting and super helpful instrument that allows you to designate who gets your real estate when you pass away. And it passes outside of the probate process, outside of any revocable living trust that there is, as long as the property is held in your name and you have a transfer on death designee on who gets the property. So example, a mom could say, when I pass away, I'm executing this transfer on death deed, and it says, when I pass away, it goes to Joey. So when mom passes away, that property goes to Joey because of that transfer on death deed that mom did. It is possible to do a DIY estate plan. You have to be super diligent. And if you have assets, financial accounts, houses, rental houses, businesses, vacation homes, then you probably absolutely need to have an estate plan and probably should not be doing it yourself. I know I've thrown a lot at you today, so that's why we've prepared our free guide on estate planning. I'll put a link to it in the description below and in the comment section below that so that you can download it and get started in the right direction. And to help you out even more, watch this video up here and this video up here. If you enjoyed this video, then guys, please smash that subscribe button and click on the like button. And also click on that little bell so you'll get notified every time we post a new video. Have a great day and an awesome week. And as always, thanks for watching.